Hey guys, what's up? It's your Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are here in Sonoma Valley, California for that first drive of what Porsche is saying is the purest of the cars that they've ever built. It's this vehicle right here. This is it. This is a 2024 Porsche 911 ST. Plus on top of that, we have the Heritage design package. But before we get into this new color called Shoreline Blue, let's talk about what's going on here. Porsche, they've been doing the business, the sports car business, since 1963. That was the birth of the 911. And it's fascinating because there really hasn't been any other model in the history of the automobile that has been truly an evolution rather than a revolution when it comes to design, performance, and technology. Now, yes, Porsche does have some other amazing high-performance cars. The Porsche 959, of course the Carrera GT, and the 918 Spider. But still, to this day, when people think Porsche, they want to dial on their phone 911. And what this ST does, it evokes the past of the 1960s and 70s, where Porsche had special 911s that were made for the racetrack, because ST is sort of like that street and track formation. Now what's fascinating is that they're going to only build 1,963 examples of this vehicle. See what they did there? First year of 911, 1963, they're going to make 1963 units of this, 1,963 examples. What's also fascinating is that, remember, when Porsche came out with the 991 GT3 back in 2015, they didn't offer a manual transmission. It was PDK only. And then they came out in 2016 with the 911R. This vehicle is basically that whole concept of bringing the purest form of driving experience to the mighty 911. But what I want to find out is, at the end of the day, is it worth the price? And is this a better way to go truly over a GT3 Touring? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, the color really showcases the body lines so well. And guess what? This color, like I said, part of that design package comes with those special pearlescent white wheels, which I'll talk more about those when we go around the bend. Now at the front of the business, you're gonna get that unique style to the 911 and specifically this ST. So you'll see those large oval headlights, full LED headlights, turn signals, daytime running lamps. If you're wondering where are the turn signals, you gotta drop down. They're in the lower portion of the front fascia. Now, just like the GT3 Touring, everything is going to be painted at the nose, at the front of the business, and we have full functionality on those corner vents and even on the interior of the corner vents as well. And as I slide in front of the nose, this ST is basically a more street-going version of the mighty 911 GT3 RS. And we'll talk more about that as we go through. You'll notice how we have that front splitter all painted, nice extension, wire mesh to bring cool air to all the heat exchangers. And then one thing that you probably would miss if I didn't point it out to you is this has the original design crest. So the crest, the Porsche crest and badge has changed over the years. This one has the original badge, just like in 63 where it says Stuttgart with the black stallion, full carbon fiber hood, and you're gonna have your functional heat extractors. And then the fenders are full carbon fiber. That is a major difference between the GT3 Touring and this 911 ST, because this has the same hood as a GT3 Touring. What it doesn't have, what the GT3 Touring doesn't have, are the carbon fiber fenders. And it's all about cutting weight on this vehicle. As we rise up, I just love the way the color flows with the body lines. And then we're gonna go all the way around the bend to showcase what you're getting, wheels and tires. So this isn't just white. This is actually a pearlescent white. First time they've ever used this color on any road-going 911. And you'll notice that these are unique to the ST. They're full magnesium wheels Love the way they got that Y-spoke design all the way around, ultra light, standard on the 911 ST, just like the GT3 RS, are carbon ceramic brake rotors with the black calipers, and the only way to get the white wheels is with this particular design heritage setup on it. But you have those massive carbon ceramic rotors, we have the Pirelli P0 tires, 255 up front, 35 series sidewall. That's a 20-inch wheel up front, 21-inch wheel out back. We have our PASM, Porsche Adjustable Suspension Management. The PASM, all the dampers have been specifically tuned for this particular vehicle. So what that means is it's going to handle much differently than what your GT3 Touring is going to be. So it's not just a plug and play. Everything has been uniquely set up. Because this car does not have rear wheel steer, they took it out to lighten it. They had to retune the steering rack to get everything to be precise without having the rear wheel steer. But that's just half of the story. Let's continue. Coming down the side, you'll notice just like the mighty GT3 RS, we have that wonderful arrow that comes off of the front wheels and tires, and that's going to channel the air down the side of the vehicle. We have full carbon fiber door panels. That's how you know is because of your standard door handle. Remember, on a GT3 Touring, you have the handle now that's flush, and then it pops out when you touch it. This has your standard door handle because these are carbon fiber doors, carbon fiber roof. So we're cutting weight at the top, the highest point on this car to bring down the weight. And you'll notice that because this is the ST, I love the way they have the classic stainless steel style trim around the window openings, gives it that heritage connection. And I think Porsche does it really well with bringing the past and combining it with the present. Along the side, we have the Porsche script, and each of these special design heritage editions are gonna have a specific number. Of course, 63, that is the birth year of the 911. Coming down the side, you'll notice this just has smooth, wide fenders. On a GT3 RS, you would have the arrow that's cut in here. This is more to be like a street-going 911. So they have the smooth fenders that cover these massive rear tires. So at the back, you have 315s. That's a 21-inch wheel. Of course, carbon ceramic brake rotors, all four corners. Please excuse the dirt. It just got done raining here, and we've been driving in the rain. But the best part is we're going to be hitting some of the twisty bits in the dry roads. But you'll notice our carbon ceramic brake rotors. They changed the gearing in this car. They also adjusted the transmission, including a short throw shifter, which we'll talk about more when we get to the interior. And like I said, they got rid of the rear wheel steer. That cuts about 25 pounds of weight. And those wheels are magnesium to cut even more weight. When we get to the tail end of the business, I love that classic 911 shape. You have your heritage badge there, 60 years, 63 to 2023, 911. Our gold 911 ST badge that is unique to the Heritage Edition. Love the wire mesh finish. You have your active arrow. And one of the biggest differences is on that piece of arrow, you actually have a gurney flap. So on a 911 GT3, this is not there. This flap is here to give you downforce because the big difference is the rear wing does not pop up until 80 miles an hour. On a GT3 Touring, it actually pops up around 50 miles an hour. Here it's 80 miles an hour, so they wanted to keep the 911 shape as much as they could, but they needed to put this flap here for that extra arrow. And the reason why they call it a gurney flap is because of that historic racer, Dan Gurney, that came up with this idea. Less drag, but it gives you lots of downforce. You are gonna get those lightened glass, both at the back and the sides of the vehicle. And then as we drop it like it's hot, you'll notice you're gonna get that full race diffuser, our dual exhaust, which you can make loud or quieter. And then we have under the back, that flat six. But why don't we go ahead, let's talk a little bit, switch it up, and see what the heck is powering this 911 ST. All right, guys, we do have the engine hatch lifted, but that's the interesting thing. Remember, the first 911s all the way up to basically 1999, that's air-cooled. Then they went to water-cooled, and now when you open up the rear hatch of a modern Porsche, There's not a whole lot to see, but I'm gonna show you what we're able to on this particular 911 ST. So you'll see the cooling fans up top with the 911 badge, but what is really happening underneath all of that sheet metal? We have that 4-liter flat 6 plucked from the 911 GT3 RS, not detuned. That means we have 518 horsepower, 342 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to one transmission and one transmission only, and it's not a PDK. 6-speed manual only. It's got modified cams and revised ECU tuning. 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat if you know how to do the dance on your twinkle toes. Quarter mile zooms by at 11.3 seconds. Top speed 186 miles per hour. The car gets 13 MPGs in the city, 17 on the highway. And remember, this is the lightest 911, weighing in at 3,100 pounds. Now, remember, there's other goodies here. You have a lighter clutch, lighter flywheel. We have the shorter gearing. Of course, you're gonna have that carbon fiber roof and the doors, the fenders. Plus, you have special rear axle locking on that vehicle with its electronic limited slip diff. But nice to be able to talk about it, nice to be able to show you what we can. It's not like the original 911 where you open up the hatch and you can see that whole air-cooled flat 6 and its simplicity, but it is nice to be able to bring this to you. So why don't we go ahead, let's get to the best part. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's fire up this 911 ST and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2024 Porsche 911 ST. So much history, so much purity. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've always wanted an ultimate 911. This seems like an ultimate. How much is it? So your standard 911 ST, if there is such a thing as a standard 911 ST, has a starting MSRP of $291,000. If you want this design Heritage Edition package, then you're looking at an additional $20,000 over the price of the standard MSRP. But remember, that comes with that special paint, the number plates, the whole shabam, plus what I'm going to show you on the interior. But why don't we go ahead, let's see how it differs from the GT3 Touring and if it's worth the price. To the door panels. On this special edition, you have the two-tone full leather. Love the stitch work, black leather up top, tan leather, and you see the door open tag there. Normally that's cloth on the RS. It's leather on this particular model. You do have a perfect notch there under the armrest for 4 German Twinkies, and there's even a cargo net for a couple scones that you could put in there and your Bose sound system. Now going from the door panel to the dash, black leather up top, the tan, love the 911 badge here, and it's numbered. The 911 ST badges are numbered. Obviously this one says 000 because it's a pre-production. You do have your hidden cup holder. You could put a bottle of sun-kissed orange soda in there, and then it disappears. And then as you slide in, you'll notice we have the Sport Chrono pack that has the chronograph clock, and you see the green numbering? That's to tie it into the green from the original 911 lights and all of the numerical readouts. Of course, you're gonna get your over 10-inch infotainment system, and I specifically wanna show you this because one thing that's unique about the 911 ST is there are no modes. Yes, you have your PASM, and it's normal and sport, and I like the way it highlights those dampers all four corners. Yes, you can adjust your sport exhaust system, make her sing. You got your auto blip, and you could extend that spoiler, which remember comes up at 80 miles an hour automatically when you're driving. But this is it for adjustments, something different than I think what a lot of GT3 Touring owners are gonna be used to. You do have the optional axle lift system. You could adjust your suspension directly here with this toggle switch, shut your electronic stability control and traction control off, all with the fingertips. You do have your AC controls, like before, dual climate. I still have to zonk this gloss black. I don't know why they can't put something other than gloss black here. There's nothing optional you could put. What isn't optional and is standard is on the 911 ST, that 6-speed manual transmission. It has shorter throws for crisper engagement, less shifter movement than the GT3 Touring. Plus, like I said, they lighten the flywheel, the clutch, everything in the gearbox. I do like the way they have the black leather, the 911 ST badge. And then you'll notice the combination and continuation of the tan. It's almost like a baseball glove. That's what it reminds me of, this nice tan leather. It says Porsche with that Design Studios two-tone. Open it up. You got enough room in there for a phone that they're tracking us with so that I don't take this 911 ST home with me. And you have a polishing cloth for the gloss black. That polishing cloth has been lightened in this 911 ST. And on top of that, this is the real deal. They actually lighten the floor mats and the rug in here. The carpet is actually lighter than a standard GT3 RS or GT3 Touring. You'll notice that this is a German version because we have the roll cage in the back. Unfortunately, that is not available in the US market, but what you are gonna get are the carbon fiber buckets with the Porsche crest. Love the carbon fiber, and this is unique to the ST, the way they did the black pinstriping. Love the tan with the black. It's all one piece. The only thing you could adjust is the height a little bit. That's it. But these seats, once you fall in, they're gonna hold you as snug as a bug in a freaking Porsche race car rug. But once you get your butt over here, I wanna show you behind the unique steering wheel in the 911 ST. All right guys, business time. Behind the wheel, you have these standard 911 ST, unique to this vehicle, sill plates. They light up at night. Pedal box is right out of a race car. Triple pedal, clutch, brake pedal, and throttle, and a nice large dead pedal. And remember, you could do your own heel-toe downshifting, or you could turn on the automatic blipping feature. When it comes to the seats, you do have one power adjustment here. The only other adjustment you have is to manually slide the seat. That is it. This is a race car bucket. Once you get in, it feels fabulous. It's just getting in that's part of the work. And these are standard on the 911 ST. I'm gonna move all the way back so Lori could showcase the unique steering wheel, full leather. One reason why it's unique is that it does not have a mode selector switch, because remember, we don't have different drive modes on the 911 ST. I like the way they hollow out the spokes in the center. We have the tan top dead center, so when you're going through the twisty bits, you know where top dead center is. And then look at that tack. ST badge on it, the green lighting just like the original 911, and you have your important gauges flanking on both sides. The reason why I won't show temperature or pressure is we have to start rolling down the road and then that shows up. But the leather is everywhere, including on the actual steering column, you have full leather. But you know what? It's about that time. Yes, we have a frunk. You've seen them on Raiti's Rides. We've done other 911s, same frunk. It's all about the driving experience. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in this 911 ST. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 911 ST. Unbelievable right away. As soon as you start driving this vehicle, ooh, yeah, that that flat six sounds so freaking good. And even though the roads are damp, I feel very, very confident in this car. The steering, the brakes, the suspension, everything just all comes together so nicely. But as I was saying, right away, within the first, say 500 feet, you can tell the difference with the lighter flywheel. Definitely every time you select a different gear to go into, you can tell the difference in not only the short throw shifter, but the changes that they made in the gearbox. But it's interesting because you would think without the rear wheel steering you would feel less connected. I feel more connected. And then that 9,000 RPM has never sounded better, because guess what? We have less sound deadening, lighter carpet, and it just really brings the whole driving experience all into the cabin. And I love that. I love that about this car. It truly feels like a race car 911 that you're driving on the road. But it's interesting how they've gotten rid of the drive modes, so no drive modes, and you do have the two different options with PASM. So you have your normal and you have your sport, but I need to go on throttle from a dead stop. Even with it being a little slick, it's gonna be okay, I have a feeling. Are you ready? Because if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, yeah! Nice. Woo. That flat six with the 6 individual throttle bodies is such a smooth revving engine. The way that the vehicle is so balanced, the way they retune the suspension compared to the GT3 Touring, it's like you pick up on all of the differences and it just feels fantastic. Yes, compared to the GT3 Touring, this is a little bit more bouncy, but still does a great job isolating what that road surface is all about and what's happening on the inside of the cabin. But I just love how you can feel how much lighter that flywheel is every time you push the clutch in to shift up or down a gear. And obviously having a little bit more horsepower over the GT3 Touring isn't gonna be a bad thing either. I could do this all day long. This really is the best transmission, I believe, production-wise, available today, hands down, if not over the past 10 years of automobiles. It is that good. Really, really wild to be driving in this forest with the sun out, but yet it's pitch black in here. But the way those 6 individual throttle bodies open in this orchestrated, harmonious experience, every time you hit that throttle pedal, it just sends chills down the back of your spine. I mean, look at this. And the engine is so flexible. And what I mean by that is I just have it in 3rd gear right now, and it's allowing me to enter the tighter turns, but then I'm also able to open up the throttle and not have to shift yet. But boy, oh boy, on this road, the suspension, you can feel the lightness of the car compared to the GT3, and you can feel it fine-tuning everything very specifically. The turn in, watch this, turn in is so crisp, holds a line very well, and then you get on that throttle. This almost feels like a dream I had when I was a kid for years, driving through a forest in an exotic car, hearing that engine. The sad news is the days are numbered, remember, as we get closer and closer towards more electrification. All right, guys, we got to another nice dry road area in this 911 ST. Nice to be able to just be out here in the middle of nowhere in Sonoma Valley and really showcase some of the capabilities of this vehicle. Now this road is a little bit more bumpy, so to speak, so you can see a little bit of that bounce that's going on, but it's still manageable, and the PASM does a great job of controlling everything and trying to make it as smooth as possible. But this is all about the feeling. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. It just hooks up. It just totally hooks up. No matter where you are, no matter where you are in the turn, what road you're on, it just hooks. On throttle! It's like you really get this feeling of just being so connected to a car. I mean, normally I get that when I'm driving a manual transmission, period, in any car, but having the experience that I'm having in here with the steering, with the brakes, with the grip level, the transmission, it's the engine, it's unlike really any other manual transmission car that I've driven. That's how specific it is, and that's how good it is. And remember, we're talking about price point. At the end of the day, over $300,000 is a lot of money. But the experience that this thing provides, it's so unique. Watch this. On throttle, here we go. It just pulls and pulls and pulls. There's no dip in the torque curve. It never plateaus. It just wants more and more, and you just want to give it to it. It's that crazy in how much it can handle. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of what this 911 ST brings. Not only exterior appointments, interior appointments, and of course all the mechanical goodies that this 911 ST has over a GT3 Touring. But we're gotta get back to where this all began and wrap it up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another amazing day with this particular 911 ST, especially out here for the first drive in California. We gotta thank the whole Porsche USA team for having us at this event so that we could bring the on-throttle fun to you. But let me know what you think. Is this 911 ST special enough? Does it have the right recipe of goodies to be not only worth the price, and is it more of a standout over the GT3 Touring? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raise Rights family. Of course, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for LG Raiti, the hardest working videographer on the planet, and probably the next planet over. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.